So good morning, and thanks for joining me on the yoga mat this morning. This week's focus is all about those lower limbs. So really anything from the hips down, including the hips themselves. We'll be working a little bit of stabilization into those hips so that we are landing as equally and as stably as possible as we can into those lower limbs, particularly the feet and the ankles. So we will start actually sitting back on our heels this morning. Okay, so again, you can have the toes tucked or untucked, whatever's most comfortable for you. If it's particularly uncomfortable, feel free to come back into easy cross-legged here. Also, you can always roll up a little towel or a little bit of cushioning, put it in behind the knee gaps, just to create a little bit of space. You might be able to sit back a little bit easier. And likewise, you can always roll up a little towel, jumper, anything you have, and place it in front of the ankles. And again, over time, decreasing that padding and see if we can kind of sit back into that space. My ankles are still a little bit cranky, so I've got my toes tucked under this morning. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling, sit as tall as we can. Drawing the shoulders back, pressing the chest forward, and notice where the ribs are. We're going to draw the belly button in and really engage that core. And then we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulders. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch as we inhale, take the gaze up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. And 1 more breath here. Excellent. From here, we're going to come right up onto the knees. So knees are about hip-width distance apart. Toes are tucked under. We're pressing the hips forward until the hips are in line with the knees. We're trying not to lean back too much here. Again, we're going to open those palms to the front, draw the shoulders back, and then inhale the arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, gently twist to the right. We're going to place that right hand to the left heel or the back of the left leg, wherever it lands easy. And then we're going to inhale, stretch through the left arm. And as we exhale, twist a little bit more to the right as we look over the right shoulder. So every inhale, lengthen through the left arm. Every exhale, twist a little bit more. And all the time, we're pressing those hips forward. So again, if we're touching the heel, but we're actually falling back toward the heel, bring that hand to the back of the leg so that we can keep opening into the front of the hips. 1 more breath here. Slowly lean back. We're going to inhale, right arm back up to the left. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left. We're going to rest that left hand toward the right heel or the back of the right leg. Just make sure those hips are over the knees. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the right arm. And as we exhale, twist a little bit more to the left as we look over the left shoulder. So we're inhale, stretching through the fingertips. And we're exhaling, twisting a little bit more. 1 more breath here. Nice big belly breaths. Slowly lean back. And then inhale all the way back to center. And then exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see what I'm doing here. So it's, again, starting with hips over knees. So when I'm saying hips over knees, if we find that we're falling back, we're consciously pressing the hips forward and trying to create a nice straight line down the front of the body. We're going to bring the hands to heart, work a little bit of core here, but we're also, again, tucking those toes. So we're getting a wee bit lower leg. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, gently lean back, but try to keep that nice straight line in the body. So from that hinge is from the knees. We're going to inhale slowly forward. And then exhale slowly back and continue with your own breath. So go as far back as you can until you start to feel those knees are going to lift. And then slowly up. Find a point out in front to fix your gaze. So again, when we're working core, we're also working quads, hamstrings, and as we have those toes tucked under, we're getting into those ankles and lower legs. And we'll do 1 more here. So again, we're going to turn so that we've got full width of the mat here because we're going to bring in our legs out to the left and right. Again, hips are stacked over the knees, hands rest on the hips here, and then we're going to stretch that right foot out to the right. See if you can press the outer blade of that right foot into the ground. So I can't just with that brace, but we're really grinding that outer blade into the mat. Right hand comes to the hip, left arm extends out. We're going to face that palm to the right side and gently stretch to the right. So again, feeling that stretch all along the left side of the body. As we inhale, reach through the fingertips, draw the arm back in line with the ear. And as we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the right, maybe take the gaze up toward the fingertips. One more breath here. And then slowly inhale back to center. And as we exhale, we're going to place that left hand on the ground beside us, or we'll come to the fingertips or rest the hand on the block. Just make sure you feel that space across the front of the body. As we extend that right arm up toward the ceiling, we're going to exhale, extend the right arm overhead. Again, arm is right back in line with the ear here. We're going to inhale, stretch through the fingertips. And as we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the left this time. A little bit of activation into those glutes. We're going to inhale, knee to elbow in. And as we exhale, press that right foot out, hovering it off the ground. Inhale slowly in. Exhale, press it out, and continue with your own breath. If you want to challenge the balance a little bit more, we're going to follow the middle finger on that right hand with the gaze. Keep that right foot super active. Keep the heart open. Keep the hips pressed forward. So try not to collapse forward into the body here. It's all about space and opening. And we'll do one more here. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. And then we're going to rest that right foot down and reach through the fingertips. Right hand comes back to the waist. We're going to slowly inhale back to center. This time, we're going to rest the palms forward. Inhale the arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently sit back toward that left heel. We're going to reach those arms forward. So again, almost like somebody's holding you at the fingertips, somebody's holding you at the waist, and then rest the finger pads down. If we want to go deeper, we can untuck the left toe and sit back all the way onto that left heel. So we should feel a nice little stretch into the inner thigh. Again, keep trying to press the outer blade of that right foot into the ground. Sink as softly as we can to the ground. So just go as deep as you can go. With that left toe tucked under, we'll feel a nice little stretch into the back of the calf. If the toe is untucked, we're going to feel a nice little release into the front of the shin and ankle. Rest the head, rest the neck. We're going to pause here for 2 more breaths. One more. And then slowly tuck the toe under if it's not there already. Tuck the chin in and gently walk those hands back toward the body. With control, we're going to bring that right knee back into the left. And same little sequence on the other side. So we're going to step that left foot out. Again, try to press the outer blade of the left foot into the ground. Right hip stays over the knee. Left hand comes to the waist. We're going to inhale, right arm up, flip the palm to the left. And as we exhale, reach that right arm all the way over to the left. Again, try to keep that arm back in line with the ear. So try not to collapse into the body here. Keep that space. We're going to inhale, stretch through the fingertips. And as we exhale, hinge a little bit more to the left. Maybe take the gaze up toward the fingers. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge. And then inhale back to center. As we exhale, we're going to rest that right hand down to the ground beside us, or finger pads or block. Again, draw the shoulder back, press the hips forward. We'll inhale the left arm up. And as we exhale, reach that left arm overhead. Again, arm is brushing as far back to the ear as you can. Inhale, stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, hinge a little bit more to the right. As we inhale, knee to elbow in. As we exhale, extend it out, hovering that left foot off the ground. Inhale, slowly in. Exhale, extend it out. If you want to challenge the balance, we're following the middle finger on the left hand with the gaze. Keep that left foot really active, so really pressing away through the heel here. And just notice how this feels compared to the other side. Notice if it's a little bit more challenging, if there's a little bit more control. So again, touching in with those imbalances through the movement. We're going to do one more. Inhale in. Exhale out. So then we can rest that left foot down. We're going to bring the left hand back to the waist and then slowly inhale back to center. Again, palms flip forward. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently sit back toward the right heel as we stretch forward through the arms from that lower back, resting the finger pads down, pressing the outer blade of that left foot into the ground. If you wish, you can untuck the right toe and sit back all the way onto the heel. Wherever we're at, we're inhaling, lengthening the spine, and as we exhale, sink a little bit deeper into our folds. Trying to get as close to the ground as we can, but keep that nice length into the spine and that openness into the heart. Inhale, lengthen forward through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. 2 more breaths here. Again, really pressing the outer blade of that left foot into the ground. Feel that release on the inner thigh. 1 more breath. And then gently, we're going to tuck the right toe under if it's not there already. Tuck the chin in and slowly walk those hands back toward the knees, coming all the way back to center. And again, with control, we're going to step that left knee back in to meet right. From here, we're going to come to lie on our mats. Just make sure that you have your towel or strap and your block within reach here. Lovely. So lying back onto the mat, knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee in, give it a nice little squeeze, and then we're going to extend that left foot fully out along the mat. We're going to do a little bit of mobilization into the hips here. So right hand rests on the knee, left hand on the hip, and we're just going to draw a few little circles into that right hip, either direction, doesn't matter. Keep pressing that lower back into the ground. Fingertips rest on the knee, making those circles a little bit larger. And then if you feel stable, we're going to take that right hand to the ground beside us and make those hip circles as large, as full, as circular as you can. Trying to incorporate the full length of that right leg into the movement. So we're drawing the knee into the chest, pressing away through the heel as we straighten the leg. Draw the knee across the body. Feel that release into the glute. So a nice full engaged movement into that right hip. And then we're going to reverse those circles in the opposite direction. Nice full movement here. Slow and controlled. Again, keep the hips stable on the earth. Keep that lower back pressed into the mat. Last one, big circle. And then we're going to meet, hugging that right knee into the chest. We're going to reach for our towel or our strap, and we're going to wrap it around the ball of that right foot. I want you to be conscious here. As we inhale, we're pressing the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. As we exhale, we're drawing the toes toward the face. We're working into the lower leg, but also the hamstring. Where we're feeling that stretch is just the center of the muscle. If we're feeling it underneath the kneecap or sit bone, take a little bend to the knee or drop that heel a little bit more and just focus on the lower leg. So chances are there the hamstring might already be overstretched or over lengthened. So that's not what we're going to work into. We can work on strengthening those hamstrings though in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to inhale, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, see if we can get a little bit deeper. So ideally that leg is at about 80 to 90 degrees to the earth. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together. We're just going to pause here for a few breaths. Activating as we inhale, pressing sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. We'll do one more breath here. Lovely. We're going to get our right hand, catch hold of our strap. Extend the left arm out in line with the shoulder palm down. And then slowly exhale that right foot out to the right, maybe bending the right elbow and resting it to the ground, acting as a little strut to hold that leg in place. Gaze is over the left shoulder. If we find that the left hip is coming off the ground, we can always place that left hand on the hip to keep it grounded, feeling that space across the front of the pelvis. As we inhale, press away through the right heel. And as we exhale, allow the leg drop out just a little bit more. Keep the lower back planted into the ground. So again, we're working into our 3 hamstrings here. There's 3 hamstrings in our hamstring group. So again, just enjoy that space. Don't overstretch, just a nice gentle release for one more breath. And then slowly we're going to inhale back to center. We're going to reverse the grip. Left arm grips the towel, extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder. Shift the hips just a little bit to the right, and then we're going to draw that right leg across the body to the left. So again, get nice and comfortable here. Gaze is over the right shoulder. That right arm, right shoulder is literally glued to the ground. If we're feeling it's too intense into that hamstring, we can always take a little bend to the right knee and just work into our twist, getting a nice little release into that right glute. Otherwise, extending the leg, pressing away through the heel as we inhale, and as we exhale, allow that leg drop over a little bit more. So mobilizing the core and the spine here also. One more breath. And then slowly we're going to inhale back to center and then exhale that right knee into the chest. We can release that tail off to the side for now. Left knee comes in to meet right. We're going to extend that right foot fully out along the mat. Keep hugging the left knee in, left hand rests on the knee, right hand on the hip, and we draw a few little hip circles into that left side. Keep pressing the lower back into the ground, keep grounding that right hip to the mat. Fingertips move to the knee, making the circles a little bit larger. And again, if that feels good, we're going to bring that left hand to the ground and make those circles as large, as full, as smooth as we possibly can. Trying to incorporate the full length of that left leg into the movement. So again, lengthening the leg, press away through the heel, draw the knee across the body, feel that lovely release into the glutes. And then we're going to reverse those circles in the opposite direction. Keeping the hips nice and stable. Right hip is on the ground, lower back is on the ground. All that movement is coming from the left hip joint. Relax the breath and just enjoy that space. Notice how it feels comparing to the other side. Not forcing it, just noticing it. One more big circle. Lovely. And then we're going to meet with that left knee hugged into the chest, reaching for our towel or strap, wrapping it around the ball of the left foot this time. And then inhale gently, press the sole of the foot toward the ceiling, and then exhale, draw the toes toward the face. Again, holding that towel so that we can hug those elbows into the waist and create a little bit of space into the heart. So really opening into the chest here. Notice where the stretch is at in the hamstrings. So again, drop the heel if you need to, bend the knee if you need to. Otherwise, getting a nice little release into the back of that left hamstring. As we inhale, press sole of the foot to the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. Notice here if the leg is shaking. So that's probably meaning that we're actually contracting as opposed to releasing. If that's the case, again, softness to the knee or just drop the heel a little bit. And then over time, we might work a little bit deeper into that stretch. So shake it in our stretch. We're not really stretching. Shake it as those muscles trying to contract to resist what we're trying to do. Okay, so listen to those shakes. Listen to the body. We're going to bring that left hand to grip the towel. Extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder palm down. And again, slowly exhale that left foot out to the left. We might bend the left elbow, rest it onto the ground. Taking the weight of that left leg. Right arm is extended, gaze is over the fingertips, and that right shoulder is literally glued to the ground. As we inhale, press away through the left heel. And as we exhale, allow that foot drop out a little bit more. If we find the right hip's coming off the ground, get the right hand, press it right back down. So again, just enjoy that space across the full width of the pelvis. 2 more breaths here. Nice big belly breaths in and out through the nose. 1 more. Lovely. We're going to inhale back to center. Reverse the grip. Right hand grips the tail. Extend the left arm out in line with the shoulder palm down. We're going to shift the hips just a little bit to the left and then allow that left leg drop over to the right. And again, even as we drop the leg over, we might need to shift the hips a little bit more to the left. So ideally we have that left hip stacked on top of the right. It mightn't be right there today, but that's what we're aiming for. And again, we're pressing away through the heel as we inhale and allowing that leg drop over as we exhale. Left shoulder is glued to the ground, gaze is over the left shoulder. And again, if it feels too intense on those hamstrings, take a little bit of softness to the left knee and just work into that twist, that release, and that nice little stretch into the left glute. 2 more breaths here. Nice big belly breaths. And then slowly inhale back to center. And as we exhale, work the left knee into the chest. We can drop the tail off to the side for now. So just while we're here, we're going to do a little bit of soft tissue release. I think the last time I did this with you, we worked into the calf muscle. So today we're going to work into that little muscle along the outer part of the shin. So if you've got leggings, you can roll it up to just below the knee. Lovely. So we're going to start by flexing the foot. Okay, so drawing the toes toward the knee. We're going to get our index and middle finger, and we're going to place it to the left of that shin bone as close to the ankle as we can. And then we're going to pull the flesh away from the ankle joint. Okay, so that's our starting point. We're going to inhale here. Keeping that lock in with the fingers, as we exhale, we're going to point the toes away and feel a little stretch into the front of the ankle. And we're going to work all the way along that muscle. So we're going to inhale, flex the foot, work the fingertips a little bit further up the shin, lock them in, and then exhale, point the foot. We're going to do that all the way. So again, we're flexing, we're locking in, we're pulling the flesh away from the ankle, and as we exhale, we're pointing. Okay, so all the way to your own breath. Notice where we feel that stretch. So it should be between the ankle joint and where we have those fingers locked into the muscle. All the time, we're gently pulling the flesh away from the joint. So we're getting a little lock in here. So this is a soft tissue release, little physical therapy technique. Really nice way of stretching into a muscle that is particularly tight, perhaps injured, or recovering from an injury, and we've got full control of how deep we go into that stretch, and we can break the muscle down so we can start to notice what part of the muscle is actually tight or perhaps injured. Okay, so it's a really kind of nice mindful way of connecting with those muscles, and we can do it with really all the lower leg muscles. So they're really nice ones to access. It's just about taking that time. So we're going to work all the way to just below the knee. So we don't work onto the bone itself, all the way up along that shin. Nice. And then when we get here, we're just going to gently massage out that shin muscle, nice and gentle. You can relax the foot here. We might even give a little bit of friction as we rub the fingers up and down the muscle. Lovely. And then maybe do a few little rotations into that left ankle and just feel maybe a little bit of a release there. Lovely. And then we can pull that leggings down and then rest the left foot down. We're going to do the same on the other side. So hugging that right knee in. That left knee can be bent or the leg can be rested on the ground, whatever feels good. We're going to roll the leg in up to just above the knee or just below the knee. And again, I'm going to not be able to access this one fully, but I can still describe it to you. So again, we're going to flex the foot, get the index and middle finger, pull that shin muscle, so we're toward the right of the shin bone this time. And as we exhale, we're going to point through the toes. So we're inhaling, flexing, pulling the muscle away from that joint. And as we exhale, point. And continue with your own breath. So again, we're working all the way up along that right shin. Feeling the soft tissue release just a little bit. It's really important that we breathe here, okay? So to get those muscles released, it's really important that we're getting oxygen into the muscles. So again, you can work to the left side of the shin. You can work into the calf muscle. It's a really nice way of working into those calves. And with the ankle, you can invert it, you can evert it, as in you can flex it out, you can flex it in, and you'll get a slightly different stretch. So we're going to work all the way to just until we get to that knee, and then we can relax and just gently rub out that little muscle to the right of the shin. Maybe bringing a little bit of friction into it too, just getting the blood flowing again. Nice. And then we can roll that leg down if we have it rolled up. Lovely. From here, we're going to place the right foot down. We're going to bring the left foot in to meet it, and we're going to do a little bit of bridge work this morning. So hugging the right knee in, we're going to rest a right ankle just above the left knee, coming into our figure four, pressing the lower back into the ground. Hands are on the ground, fingertips brush the back of that left heel. Now we're going to go for figure four bridge. If that's too strong, feel free to place that right foot back down to the ground to meet left. As we inhale, we're going to gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground, lift the hips toward the ceiling. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together, taking the pressure off the neck, pressing the hands, arms, shoulders into the ground. Lift the hips as high as we can. If we're in figure four, we're pressing that right knee down toward the ground, so we're getting a little bit of glute activation to get that space. Pressing the hips. I want you to notice a nice straight line from the belly button to the center of the chest. So we're not letting those hips dip, but likewise, we're not hyperextending. Pressing the left foot into the ground. If we want to work a little bit more into the lower leg, we're going to come up onto the ball of the left foot. Still pressing those hips high. As we inhale, press up. As we exhale, gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale, slowly up. Keep pressing those shoulders, arms into the ground. Exhale, slowly lower, and continue with your own breath. So heel could be on or off the ground. Either way, we're pressing that left foot firmly into the mat. Trying to get a little bit more lift into those hips each time we inhale. And again, try not to allow those hips relax onto the ground. Keep those muscles active. 2 more. Last one. Returning all the way down to the ground. Rest the heel down. We're going to cross the right leg over left, nice and relaxed. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. Keep the lower back rounded. Draw the belly in. We're going to interlock the fingers around the right knee, left shin, or catch hold of the front of the ankles and work them apart from each other. Draw the shoulders toward the earth. See if we can hug those knees right into the chest. Feel that release in the right hip. If we want to bring in upper core, we're going to inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling, allowing the head lift off the ground. Still hugging those knees into the chest. Hold it here for 3. Relax the breath for 2. And 1, release the head, release the feet all the way down to the ground. We're going to uncross the legs, same on the other side, hug the left knee in, rest the left ankle just above the right knee, coming into figure 4 on the other side. Pressing the lower back into the ground, again, draw that toe toward the left knee, press the knee away from the body. Hands to the mat, fingertips brush the back of the right heel this time. And again, traditional bridge if figure 4 is not for you this morning. We're going to inhale, press the right foot into the ground, gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground, lift the hips toward the ceiling. Walk those shoulder blades together, taking the pressure off the head and neck. Notice if the left knee is right up in the air, I want you to engage the left glute, see if we can press that left knee down toward the ground. Lift the hips a little bit higher, feel it in the hamstring glute. If we want to work it a little bit more into the lower leg, coming up onto the ball of the right foot as we lift off the heel. Lift the hips, nice straight line from chest to belly. Keep those tummy muscles engaged. We're going to inhale, press up. And as we exhale, gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale, slowly up. Gaze is relaxed. Fixed point on the ceiling, wherever it may be. Relax the breath. Continue with your own breath. Keep pressing those hands and arms actively into the ground. Keep pressing that right foot strongly into the ground. Slowly up, slowly down. The slower this movement, the more engagement, the stronger, the more connection we're going to get to those muscles. We're going to do 1 more. Nice big belly breaths as we lift up. And then exhale, release all the way down to the ground. Release the foot, release the back. We're going to cross the left leg over the right, nice and relaxed. Draw the belly in, press the lower back into the mat. We're going to inhale, draw both knees into the chest. Interlock fingers around the left knee, right chin, or catching hold of those ankles and working them apart from each other. Draw the shoulders toward the ground, hug the knees into the chest. If you want a little bit upper core, lift the chest toward the ceiling. So the head will automatically come, but with no stress on the head or neck here. Moving is from the chest. Keep drawing the shoulders back. Keep hugging the knees in. Gaze is relaxed. Breath is relaxed for 3. For 2. And 1. Gently release the head. Gently release the feet. Uncross the legs. We're going to bring the feet about the width of the mat apart, allow the knees knock together, arms into cactus. Inhale at center as we press the lower back into the ground. Exhale, knees drop to the right, gaze to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees drop to the left, gaze to the right. And continue with your own breath. Make sure those feet are nice and wide so that you can allow each knee drop behind the other as we allow those knees drop to the sides. Really pressing the knees down toward the ground so we can get a nice release into both the inside and the outside of the hip. And we're looking over the opposite shoulder so we get a nice little release into the neck and upper back. And we're going to slowly meet back at center. Bringing those feet together, we're going to roll over onto our right hand side. Lovely. So we can come on to the right elbow, resting the head into that right hand. Going to look back. So we're going to try to get those knees that they're in line with the hips. Okay. And then we're going to straighten those legs out. Okay, so we're trying not to collapse forward, we're trying not to fall back. So a nice straight line here as much as we can. We're going to bend the left knee, we're going to get the left hand, and we're going to catch hold of the front of that left ankle. So we're just going to work it a little bit into the quad. If you feel particularly unstable, you can bend the right knee forward, but try to keep that left hip in line with the left knee to start with. Keeping the hip low, we're going to inhale, press the foot into the hand, and as we exhale, we're going to draw that left knee back behind us. So again, just getting a nice little stretch into the front of the left quad and hip here. So again, we're not splaying that knee up, we're keeping the knee low. Inhale, and as we exhale, press it back. So all the time pressing the foot into the hand here. We're just going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Nice big belly breaths. Two more. Last one. Lovely. And we can release. Again, extending both legs out. We're going to place the left hand on the ground beside us. Draw both toes toward the knees, so we're keeping both legs active. And then we're going to inhale, draw that left leg up toward the ceiling as high as we can go. And then exhale, gently lower, hovering the foot just off the right. Inhale slowly up, try not to collapse forward into the body. Exhale, slowly lower, and continue with your own breath. Trying to get a little bit more lift each time we inhale. So we're working into the hip joint here. We're also keeping that leg nice and strong. Inner thighs, outer thighs. We'll do one more. Excellent, resting it all the way down. This time we're going to bend both knees out in front. We're going to keep the toes, the big toes touching. And then we're going to inhale, work that left knee back as far as we can go. So getting into a little clam pose here. We're just going to hold it here for the first breath, or for the first pose, should I say. Drawing that left knee back, so we're really engaging that left hip. And then we're going to exhale, release, bring a little bit of movement. So we're inhale, opening. And we're exhaling, closing. And continue with your own breath. So again, really activating our glute med here. Keep the toes together. Movement is from the hips. So keeping the rest of the body nice and stable. And we'll do one more for luck. As open as we can. And then exhale, release. And then we're going to turn over onto our other side. I'm just going to switch my way so I can face you. Lovely. So again, we're going to support the head using that left hand and elbow. Again, notice that the hips are falling forward. Try to bring them back. We have a nice straight line, hip to knee to ankle. And again, if you really feel quite unstable, you can always bend that left knee under, but try to keep that right leg nice and straight. Lovely. So from here, we're going to bend the right knee. Knees are together to start with. We're going to reach to catch hold of the front of that right ankle. If we can't reach, we can always wrap a towel or strap around the ankle and hold on so we can still access that space. We're going to inhale, press the foot into the hand, and as we exhale, draw that right knee back. So again, knee isn't splaying up. We're keeping the knee low. Movement is from the front of that right hip and right into the quad muscle. So we're inhaling, pressing the foot into the hand, and as we exhale, draw the heel a little bit further away from the bum. Again, notice if we're crunching into the lower back, try to keep drawing the belly button in. So when I see draw the belly button in, we're trying to make the space between the center of the heart and the belly button as small as possible. So we're engaging those tummy muscles, so no pressure on that lower back. We'll take two more breaths here. Lovely. And then we can release that right foot back to me left. Right hand comes in front. So just a little bit of support to stop us from rolling forward. And again, both toes drawn toward the knees. We're going to inhale, pick that right foot up as high as we can go. And then exhale, slowly lower, hovering the right foot off the left. Inhale, slowly up. Exhale, slowly lower, and continue with your own breath. Again, try not to collapse either forward or back. Nice and stable here. And again, we're working into those glutes. We're working into inner thigh, outer thigh. Keep that lower leg nice and active. And slow the movement right down, both as we come in and out of the movement. Slow and controlled. Excellent. We're going to do one more. And release all the way down to the ground. Lovely. So we're going to bend both knees softly. So just a nice soft angle here, nice and relaxed. Keeping those big toes touching. We're going to inhale, open the hip. So draw that right knee back as far as we can go. And again, we're just going to hold it for the first one. Notice how far back that knee goes on this side compared to the other. And that can just really tell us a little story about what's happening in those glutes. So we want those glutes as balanced as possible, left to right. And then exhale, knees together. Inhale, open, keep the toes touching. Exhale, close, and continue with your own breath. So again, we're trying to maximize that movement. We're trying to open those knees apart a little bit more each time. And again, we've done this from tabletop. So again, it's really that movement from 45 degrees to 90 is what we're looking for to work into our glute. And again, don't battle it, just get a little bit more each time. We're going to do this one more time. Micro movements. Excellent. And then release that right knee back to the ground or back to the left. And then we're going to come on to our bellies while we're here. Lovely. And then from here, we're just going to place one hand on top of the other, keeping the knees together. We're going to bend the knees, and then we're going to reach to catch hold of the front of both feet, both ankles. As much as we can, draw the shoulder blades together. We're going to lift the chest off the ground, and then see if we can lift those knees off the ground. So again, working into quads, front of the hips here. Keep the heels quite close together. They don't have to touch, but we're not bringing them nice and wide, or we're not bringing them too wide apart. Lift the chest, lift the knees. We're going to hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release all the way down to the ground. Release the feet. We're going to bring the hands forward toward the front of the mat, coming up onto the forearms. We're going to bend the knees and gently walk them underneath the body until we can sit back onto the heels into our child's pose. Relax the head, relax the neck. Take a couple of breaths here in our child's pose. We're going to get a little bit flowy for the rest of the class this morning. So lots of activation there. When you're ready, hands stay where they're at. We're going to tuck the toes under. Feet come about hip width distance, maybe a little bit wider apart. We're going to press the hands into the ground. Gently hover the knees off the mat. Lift the hips toward the ceiling and lower those heels down toward the ground. Into our downward dog. Pressing the ground away, draw the chest toward the mat. Lifting the hips, we're going to gently paddle out the feet. So allow opposite heels melt toward the ground. Nice and easy, nice and slowly. Relax the breath. Gazes back toward the knees. Relax the head and neck. Keep those hips lifted. We're going to look forward between the hands and gently paddle our way all the way to the front of the mat. Come into a nice wide-legged forward fold. Allow everything release here. Head, neck, arms, shoulders relax. Tucking the chin in, we're going to slowly roll away all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. Nice. Take a little drink here if you need. And we're going to start a little bit more active practice for the rest. So again, we've mobilized into those hip joints, those knees, those ankles. We've activated a lot of those leg muscles. So now we're going to try and integrate it all into a nice little flow. When you're ready, We're going to meet at the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Inhale, the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, we're going to drop that right heel down. Engage the core, bring ourselves up into our warrior two. Left knee is bent, left knee points forward, so don't allow it to collapse into the right if we can. Extend the arms out, palms face down. We're going to inhale here, exhale, sink into those hips. As we inhale, lengthen the left leg, arms together overhead. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, warrior. Two more. Again, we can follow that left middle finger with the gaze. Last one. Right hand rests on the back leg. We're going to inhale, left arm up, flip the palm. And as we exhale, reach the left arm to the back of the room, bending into the left knee, gaze over the shoulder, or if we want to challenge the balance, up toward the left fingers for 3. For 2. And 1. Extend the arms back, wide open. We're going to rest that left forearm on the front leg. Looking at the right palm, we're going to inhale the right arm back, up overhead, and as we exhale, reach the right arm all the way to the front of the room. Again, maybe take the gaze up to challenge the balance for 3. Bending the left knee for 2. And 1. Inhale back to center. Little slow, exhale, reverse our warrior. Inhale back to warrior center. Exhale, left arm rests on the front leg as we extend the right overhead. Inhale, warrior center. Exhale, reverse. Back to center. Exhale it forward. And continue with your own breath. 2 more rounds. Again, if you want to challenge the balance, we're following the extended arm with the gaze. So to challenge the balance, gaze generally goes up. To stabilize, gaze generally goes down. Excellent. We're going to meet at warrior center, and then we're going to straighten the left leg. We're going to walk that right foot until it's about 2 feet behind the front foot. Extend the arms out. We're going to inhale, draw the belly in, draw the shoulders back. And as we exhale, reach the left fingertips as far forward as we can go. Resting the back of the left hand to the inner leg. Extend the right arm up toward the ceiling. Keep that space into the heart and hips. Gaze goes up. As we inhale, reach toward the ceiling with those right fingertips. As we exhale, draw those left fingertips a little bit closer toward the ground. Both legs are straight here. Hips are pressed forward for 3. For 2. And 1. Gently inhale back to center. As we exhale, right hand rests on the left leg, or the right leg. Inhale, reach to the fingertips. And then exhale, reach that left arm overhead. Again, challenging the balance, take the gaze to the fingers for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand comes to the inner thigh. Reach the right arm toward the ceiling. Inhale back to center. Exhale, reverse. Right hand rests on the right leg. Extend the left arm overhead. Inhale, center. Exhale it forward. Keep that space. Inhale, center. Exhale, reverse. Last one, really exaggerate the movements. Try to create as much space and reach as we can. Last one, reverse. And then back to center. Lovely. We're going to place both hands to the hips. We're going to turn the body to the front of the room. So that left foot will walk out to the left. And we bring that right foot to point forward also. Again, about 1.5 feet between heel and front of foot. If we want to get a little bit deeper into the calf here, we can always get our block and place the balls of the feet onto our blocks. We just feel an extra little release into the back of that left calf. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, we're going to rotate back through the shoulders. We can either hold on to opposite elbows or come into reverse prayer with the hands, your choice. Heart faces forward, hips face forward. We're going to inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, press the chest forward as we press the hips back, lengthening from the spine. Leaning, 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 but keep that spine nice and long for as long as we can, feeling that into the back of the left leg, maybe into the right. When we can't lean any further, relax the head and neck. We're going to inhale, lengthen forward through the spine, and as we exhale, fold. Continue with your own breath, 2 more breaths here. Thinking about creating space in the spine as we inhale and folding as we exhale. 1 more breath. And then slowly tuck the chin in, gently rise back up to stand. We can remove the block out of the way. Release the arms, slight little bend to the left knee. We're going to step that right foot all the way back into our warrior as gracefully as we can. Extend the arms out. And then when you're ready, cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot. We're going to come onto the ball of the right foot and gently rest that right knee down. So again, working into the lower leg. Again, we're going to get that left forearm. We're going to hook it in behind that left knee. Scooch the right knee back. And then we're going to work that left knee forward of the foot until we start to feel the left heel peel off the ground. And then we're going to press the heel into the ground to resist. So again, just being conscious here if you're recovering from Achilles calf injuries not to overstretch. Otherwise, just enjoy that release. So again, we're acting against the stretch, so we're pressing that heel into the ground. Getting just a little bit more space here for 3, for 2, and 1. And release until that left knee is stacked over the heel. Both hands come to the ground, coming off the right knee. And then we're going to gently step the right foot up to meet left with control. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Second side, exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back, as far back as we can go, we're going to drop the left heel down, engage the core and come up into our warrior. Right heel bisects the arch of the back foot, right knee points forward and we're bending into that right knee. Extend the arms, palms face down, shoulders are relaxed. We're going to inhale, draw the belly in. As we exhale, sink through those hips. Inhale, lengthen the right leg, bring the arms together overhead. Exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms, warrior lunge. 3 more to your own breath. Following that right middle finger with the gaze, challenging the balance. Arms come right back in line with the ears, so we're really engaging those shoulder muscles. Last one. In our warrior, keep the right knee bent. We're going to rest the left hand on the back leg. Inhale, right arm up, flip the palm. And as we exhale, reach that right arm toward the back of the room. Gaze is over the shoulder or to challenge the balance up toward that right hand. Bending into the right knee for 3. For 2. And 1, inhale, arms back wide open. As we exhale, bend the right arm, rest the forearm onto the front leg. We're going to inhale the left arm back, up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, reach that left arm all the way toward the front of the room. Extending through the fingertips, draw the left shoulder back. Again, gaze goes up to challenge or to the ground to stabilize. Hold it here for 3. For 2. And 1, inhale back to warrior, a little flow. As we exhale, reverse our warrior. Rest the left hand on the back leg. Inhale, warrior center. Exhale it forward. And continue with your own breath. So take your time to find the flow. Don't get frustrated with it. Go in your own time, with your own breath. You can break it down into 3 poses, or you can flow smoothly between them. Your choice, whatever feels good. Keep that right leg really strong here as we bend into the knee. Last one. Meeting at warrior center. We're going to straighten that right leg. We're going to scoot that left foot until there's about 2 feet. Same foot placement, right foot points forward. We're going to extend the arms out. Inhale, draw the belly in. As we exhale, reach forward through those right fingertips as far forward as we can go. And then we're going to rest the back of the right hand to the inner leg and extend the left arm up toward the ceiling. Press the hips forward, draw the shoulders back, gaze goes up. As we inhale, stretch through those left fingertips, almost like we want to touch the ceiling. And as we exhale, see if we can draw that right hand a little bit closer toward the ground, but try not to collapse into the front of the body. With your own breath. Gaze goes up for challenge, to the ground for stability, your choice. One more breath here. Inhale slowly back to center. As we exhale, drop the left hand to the left leg. Extend that right arm back overhead in reverse. Inhale back to center. Exhale it forward. And continue with your own breath. Again, slow and controlled, mindful movements. Think about what we're doing with our body. Slowly, slowly. The slower we do the movement, the more engagement we're going to get. One more round. Meeting back at center. Hands come to heart. We're going to turn the body to the front of the room. Walk that right foot out to the right, and we bring that left foot forward. So there's about a foot, foot and a half between the heel of the right foot, toe of the left foot. Again, if we know we want to go deeper into the calf, we can place the ball of that right foot onto our block or our block-like object. Again, important here, hips and heart face forward. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up, palms together. As we exhale, rotate through the shoulders. And again, either hold on to opposite elbows. Try the grip that doesn't come as naturally to you, or else we can come into reverse namaste or reverse prayer. If we're in reverse prayer, try to get the palms to touch. Draw the hands together, press them into the back, and really draw those shoulders back. We're going to inhale here, lengthen. And as we exhale, press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. Hinging from the middle torso here. Feel that release. Keep both legs straight if we can. Notice if we're collapsing into that right shoulder, try to keep both shoulders even. We're going to inhale, lengthen forward through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. Chest is now parallel either to the front of the room or to the ground. Inhaling, lengthening, draw the belly in. Exhale, fold. 2 more breaths here. Last one. Slowly tuck the chin in. We're going to inhale back to center. And then exhale, release the grip. Again, we can scoot that block out of the way for now. Slowly, slowly, we're going to bend into the right knee. Gently bring that left foot back into our warrior as gracefully as you can. We're going to extend the arms out. And then gently cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left foot, resting the left knee down. We're going to get that right forearm. We're going to hook it underneath the gap behind that right knee. Shifting the left knee back, and then we're going to gently scoot that right knee forward until we start to feel the heel lift. And as we do so, we're going to press that heel down toward the ground, releasing. We can untuck the left toe if it feels good. We're just going to hold it here. So again, that right forearm is just there so that we're not totally compressing into the knee joint. Feeling it here toward the Achilles and the calf. Gently stretching, and again, being conscious if you do have any previous injuries, not going too deep, just getting a nice little release for 3, for 2, and 1. We can tuck that left toe under, come back until that right knee is stacked over the heel. Both hands come to the ground. We're going to come off the left knee, and this time we're going to step the right foot back to meet left, lift the hips, and walk it out in our downward dog. So make it a nice flowy downward dog, not thinking about too much what it looks like, and just enjoying a little bit of movement into those lower legs, those upper legs, and those hips. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the breath. Slowly, slowly walking it out. Excellent. Come into stillness. We're going to release down onto the knees. Tuck the chin in. We're going to walk the hands back toward the knees until we come to sit back up onto the heels. And we're actually going to finish with a few variations of our legs up the wall pose this morning. So a really nice one for those lower limbs. So again, I'm going to invite you to meet me at whatever wall is most blank in your house. So we're going to bring our mat so that it's perpendicular, so that the shoulder end is just against the wall. So I'm going to adjust my camera here so you can see what I'm at. Okay, that should do it. So just make sure that you have a wall with a lot of space either side, because we will be coming into our V legs shortly. Just make sure to keep a wee eye on this clock. Okay, perfect. So we're going to make our way to the wall. We can lie down parallel and then use our elbows to gently scoot your way until our bum's quite close to the wall, but our lower back is connected. So we're going to start just by extending the legs up the wall. And notice here as we do so, if that lower back comes off the ground, just scoot the hips back, drawing the toes toward the face. So this is a little recovery pose in itself. What we're going to work at this morning is our figure 4 against the wall. So again, just scooch the body back until you feel nice and stable in the lower body, hips, lower back. We're going to hug the right knee in. And then we're going to rest that right ankle just above the left knee, coming into our figure 4. You might need to back away from the wall a little bit more here if that feels unstable. Draw the right toe toward the knee, press the right knee away from the body. And this might be where we stay. If we want to go a little bit deeper, we're going to bend the left knee, flatten the foot down to the wall. So we're going to really start to feel that into the right hip. And we might walk that left foot down the wall a little bit more. So we don't really need to go any further than that right angle at the left knee. And then from here, I'm going to encourage you to place one hand, the right hand on the knee, left hand on the ball of the foot, just to keep that lower leg active, and gently relax through the shoulders. We'll close down the eyes here. So just feeling that space into the right hip. Only go as deep as feels good. So don't force it. You do not have to bring that left leg down at all. You're still going to get a lovely release with the leg extended up the wall. We're just getting a little bit deeper with that left knee bend. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Maybe close down the eyes here and just really internalize that feeling. Working with a nice strong belly breath. Just notice if the breath has got caught up in the chest. Actively trying to draw it down to the center of the belly. Noticing those shoulders have they started to round. So again, often when we don't think about it and then we start to think about it, we notice these little things within the body. So just keep checking in, turning off each and every muscle. So enjoying that space. Just a couple more breaths on this side. So again, like our figure 4, but just a little bit more restorative because we can allow the wall to take the weight of that left leg. And just really focus in on that release. One more breath. So if the left knee is bent, first things first, we're going to straighten the left leg nice and softly. And then we're going to hug that right knee into the chest, give it a nice little squeeze. And then nice and slowly, we're going to extend that right foot up to meet left. Same thing on the other side, we're going to hug the left knee in, rest the left ankle just above the right knee, draw the toe toward the knee, press the knee away from the body. And again, if it doesn't feel comfortable, just shift the body away from the wall a little bit more until you feel nice and stable. If you want to go deeper, we can bend the right knee, flatten out the foot. We might even work the foot down along the wall. So what we want to feel is that the wall is taking the weight of that right leg, wherever it's at. And then we can rest the left hand on the knee, right hand on the ball of the foot, rest those shoulders down, or we can just take the hands down to the ground if that feels better. Sometimes it's nice just to bring a little bit of consciousness to that lower leg so that we're not doing anything into that left knee. Relax the breath, relax the gaze, relax the face. Again, maybe close down the eyes, focusing in on your nice big belly breaths. Think about every exhale, releasing, letting go, particularly in those hips, letting go of any tension that we're holding on to here. Every exhale, allow the body soften, allow the face soften, allow the breath soften. Only 2 more breaths here. Last one. So if we do have that right knee bent, first things, we're going to extend that right leg back up against the wall. And then everybody else, we're going to hug the left knee in and then extend the left foot up to meet it. One last pose here. We're not going to stay here for too long, but we're just going to get a little V shape into those hips. So we're going to work those heels apart, as far apart as they can go. Allow the wall to take the weight of the legs, allow the feet drop out so that there's nothing being held onto in those lower limbs at all. And then we can rest the hands to the inner thighs, just bringing a little bit of consciousness to the space we're releasing into. Relax the shoulders, or alternatively, we can rest right hand on the belly, left hand on the chest, and just focus in on that breath. Again, we won't stay here for too long this morning, just getting a nice extra little release into that hip space. Relax the breath, relax the face. Nice big belly breaths, and maybe sigh that breath out as you release and let it go. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, bring a little bit of consciousness back to the body. We're going to get both hands, hold on to the outer legs, just so that we can rotate those knees inward a little bit. Slight bend to the knee, and then using the hands, we're going to bring those feet back together up the wall. Shift the body away from the wall a little bit more, just to give ourselves space. And then we're going to hug both knees into the chest, give them a nice little squeeze, and then release the grip. We're going to slowly roll over onto our right hand side. Take a couple of breaths here, just reconnecting and resetting. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to press the left hand into the ground, slowly bringing ourselves back up to seat. Head comes up last. And we're going to meet in any seat at all that's comfortable for you this morning to finish our practice. So again, take your time. Reset, reconnect, again, engaging with those lovely strong core muscles, opening into the heart, feeling that space into the center of the heart. We're going to open the palms, and when you're ready, we'll inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling, and as we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. We'll do that 2 more times, all together. Inhale. And release. And then slowly bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your Friday morning to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely energy, some lovely release, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the weekend ahead. Thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.